Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video on my channel, Meg's Movies. If you are new to this channel, this is basically where I talk to you guys about my passion for movies. This goes from collections, hauls, reviews, and today's video, so let's get into it. Okay, so carrying on with my 90s decade, and we're now into the year that I was born. And honestly, I am very surprised this one I actually struggled a little bit with. I know I said 94 onwards should be easy. Apparently, 95, not so much. There's a lot of popular films from 95 that I have not seen, so I do apologise. They won't be making this list. Maybe they will in a future update. But yeah, so I struggled a little bit with this one. I'd say it's probably like the first 5, maybe. Probably like 1 to 5 are like my absolute favourites. But yeah, so let's get into it. This one I do not own, and at number 10, that is Die Hard with a Vengeance. I have only seen this film once, so hence why it's at my number 10, because I honestly had to find something to put at my number 10. But you know what, I actually quite enjoyed this film. Even though I haven't, like I said, I've only seen it once, I actually remember some of the scenes, and it's very weird that I remember that. But it is enjoyable. You got Samuel L. Jackson, you got Bruce Willis. We're not in the tower anymore. It's a different location. It's a different situation. I will be completely honest. They're the only 2 Die Hard films I've seen. It's the first one and the second one. I have not seen any of the others. But you know what? I really enjoyed the second one from what I remember watching. But I say there's certain scenes, like I said, that stick in my head. But I don't really have much else to say on Die Hard with a Vengeance because, like I said, I have only watched this once. So, to be honest, I think this may be a shortish video. I do apologise. Also, not gonna lie, I am really tired. I did do a 16-hour shift on no sleep, so apologies if my enthusiasm isn't through the roof. But anyway, so carrying on, at number 9, we have Pocahontas. I actually enjoy this film, I think, more than others do. I do like the songs in this. Colours of the Wind, absolutely amazing song. But I had to include it on the list because, kind of like with number 10, I needed to fill up the last 2. And this was one of them. But it's a pretty decent Disney film. Not my absolute favourite. It'd probably be like my top 20, maybe. But then I did grow up with this film. So for me, the 90s, early 2000s Disney, they would sort of make my top 20 more than anything. But no, it's a pretty good film. It's a dark film. It can be a little bit gritty, but it is still enjoyable, at least for me anyway. I mean, you've got Mel Gibson in this. Doesn't say who else is in this. But no, this is a pretty decent Disney film. And it's one I've actually watched a few times. And I have also seen the second one. So, first one's so much better than the second one. Just saying. Okay, and at number 8, we have a Goofy movie. I actually enjoyed this more than I thought I would when I first watched this. Because I weren't really sure on it. I'd seen bits and pieces here and there. I never actually watched it all the way through. And then I did. And it turns out I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. I mean, Eye to Eye, that's a song I pretty much listen to very randomly. And I will say it is very randomly when I listen to it. Stand Out's another good song. But it's a nice little road trip movie. And say, Goofy, absolutely hilarious in this. Max, such a cute kid. But yeah, Goofy movie. If you want an adorable Disney movie that isn't a Disney classic in a sense, so it's not in this brand, definitely go for this one because it's a fun little movie. It is enjoyable. It has its laugh out loud moments, and yeah, it's a fun little movie. And at number 7, I have a funny thing. I might have said number 7 for Goofy. Like I said, I am very tired. I do apologise if I did. But Goofy's at 8, just in case I did do it. I don't want to redo this video, I'm not going to lie, because it's getting quite late. So I do apologise, but 8 was Goofy. Number 7 is Clueless. Yeah, This is a rather girly-ish movie. And I will be completely honest, I don't really lean towards the girly movies all that much. But there are certain ones I do, and this is one of them. I do have a good laugh with this film. There's so many one-liners. I mean, the whole, as if, so there's some very memorable moments in this film. It won't be for everybody because it is quite girly, teenager-ish. So if you're someone that's not a massive fan of girly movies, probably wouldn't recommend this one to you too much. You got Paul Rudd in this. Absolutely amazing. I love him in this. But what I find funny is that Paul Rudd never seems to age. Like, I watched him in Clueless, then I watched him in Ant-Man, and I was like, you clearly have not aged. So what is up with that man? But no, this is a cute little high school movie. In fact, it'd probably make my top 10 high school movies. That might be a list I come up with at some point. But yeah, number 7, Clueless. Okay, and at number 6, I think this might surprise some people because I think maybe they might have put this higher up in their list. But for me, there are more memories attached to these other films than this one. But at number 6, we have Jumanji, the original. This is an absolute classic Robin Williams film. I love the idea of a board game coming to life and how they dealt with it. I mean, I will say the CGI does not live up to the age now. I will be completely honest, especially when it comes to the monkeys. You can see a bit of the difference. It's a bit dated, but it's the funny kind of dated. But the special effects that they used for this when they did the practical stuff, absolutely amazing. I think this is a fun movie. As much as it is pretty dark, and so like I said, with the practical effects, it can come across a bit scary. It's still enjoyable. I have a good laugh out of this film from time to time. Our characters are fun and enjoyable to watch. And like I said, I like the fact this is about a board game coming to life. So this is one of Robin Williams' best films, I think. This will probably be in like my top 10 Robin Williams films. I will do a ranking of his films at some point. But if you have not watched Jumanji, I seriously recommend you do it. It's such a good film. Okay, and we're now into my top 5. And yet again, this might surprise some people that this is in my number 5 and not 2 or 1. And that is Toy Story. Yes. I will be completely honest here. When it comes to Pixar, as much as I enjoy Toy Story, it's not the top of my list for Pixar. It is near the top, but it's one of those ones where I really enjoy the films, especially the first one. I do have a lot of memories attached to this. I mean, this was the first ever fully CGI animated film we got. And it was fun, enjoyable. Buzz and Woody, absolutely amazing pair. Like, they're one of my favourite comedic animated duos after Timon and Pumbaa. I love the adventure that we go on with this. I mean, Sid is an absolutely evil kid. Creepy kid because of the animation. Not gonna lie. But even though the animation was literally the first of its kind, it still looked pretty good for what we got. I do miss hand-drawn animation. Don't get me wrong. But this set a precedence for a lot of animated films, and this was the first film from Pixar, and it was an absolutely amazing start. So, like I said, I do enjoy Toy Story, but for me, it's one of those ones where it would probably be in my top 5 Pixar movies, but I'd go for some other ones over Toy Story. Okay, and we're into my top 4. At number 4, we have Casper, the Friendly Ghost. Yes, I really enjoy this film. This is a film I always add to my watch list. I don't prioritise making sure I do watch it every year, but it is always added just in case I do. It's a weird little movie, but it's fun. I mean, there's a certain scene in this film where they get certain ghost experts coming in, and they're from different movies, and then you get the one from Ghostbusters, you get someone trying to perform an exorcism. Honestly, that little scene just there makes me laugh all the time. Carrigan, I think her name is. Yeah, Carrigan, I think she's a fun villain. Very weird, but very fun villain. I like Casper, he's such a cute ghost, and honestly, I actually remember another Casper film I watched, and I think it was like a Christmas special one. But nothing holds up to this film. I think it's absolutely hilarious. The practical effects are fun. The ghosts in this are fun, like the effects on them. The three brothers, I can't remember their names. Stretch, Stinky, and Fatso. There we go. Nice little description there. Thank you very much. Yeah, they're absolutely hilarious trio. They always make me laugh every time I watch that film. But no, Casper, if you want a non-horror movie to watch at Halloween, I'll always recommend this film. Okay, and we're into my top 3. And at number 3, we have Bad Boys 1. Bad boys, what you gonna do? I recently got into these films because I'd watched them in prep for Bad Boys Ride or Die. I watched the first one last year. Really enjoyed it. I was quite surprised I hadn't watched these sooner, but I think in my review for it, like I said, I wasn't really into buddy cop films so much. I mean, I think the only ones I'd watched were the 21 Jump Street remake. I think that's the only one I watched. So I didn't really plan to watch this anytime soon. But then obviously they announced another film, so I thought I'd watch it. And say, I really enjoy this film. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, absolutely amazing pair. I tell you, I'd love more films with them. And I like the fact that in a recent interview, I learned that these two weren't originally going to be the bad boys. So that's quite a surprise, because I really enjoy them. I can't see anyone else as these characters. The plot is dark and gritty, but it is fun and enjoyable to watch, because you get the comedic timing of Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. They do very well. They have very pure emotions as well, so it can go from being funny to pretty serious when it wants to. I like the fact that they've got to trade places at one point, because they've got to pretend to be the other person. That's hilarious. But there's so many laugh out loud moments in this film, and honestly, I'm a fan of the Bad Boys franchise, and I wouldn't mind another film, to be honest. You know, especially with how Ride or Die went. But no, Bad Boys is at my number 3. Okay, and at my number 2 and 1, they are Jim Carrey films, but the number 1 spot will surprise some people. But at my number 2 is Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. Is it a great sequel? Not so much, not compared to the first one, but it is still funny and entertaining, and one I enjoy. I love so many one-liners out of this film. I mean, the whole, hi, oh, chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, you know, that bit there, and the, like the spear in his leg, and just, honestly, there's so many scenes that I remember, and I always laugh at, no matter what. I mean, there's the shadow puppet scenes where he's, like, putting the shadow puppets on the person, and yeah, so Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls has to be my second favourite film of 1995. So, like I said, not a great sequel, but it is still enjoyable, it's still fun, and yeah, Ace Ventura, one of my favourite Jim Carrey characters. I wouldn't mind an Ace Ventura sequel. Seeing as we're doing sequels these days, I wouldn't mind a sequel to this. See a third one, see what Ace would be doing now. But my number 1, this will surprise some people, because I don't think many people would have put this at number 1. Let me know if you would. My number 1 is Batman Forever. Yeah, I know not many people were massive fans of this film. I know they do put it higher, a little bit higher than Batman and Robin, but I really enjoy this film. I don't know why. I get a good laugh out of this. Jim Carrey as the Riddler, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. Amazing, funny. I think they do really well against each other. I know Tommy wasn't a massive fan of Jim Carrey. I found that so funny when I learnt that. But they got through it, and they performed well, and there's so many memorable scenes. I mean, for me, it's the Riddler destroying the Batcave. That's the most memorable scene for me. But honestly, out of all of these films, this is one I watched the most from the 95 era. So like I said, there is quite a few I have not seen, so this may get changed. But no, of course we should have suspected that the 2 Jim Carrey films would be at my number 1 and number 2. But no, Batman Forever is one of my guilty pleasure movies. I will be completely honest here. But yes, so that is my top 10 movies of 1995. So we're almost done with the decade. We are halfway through. Wow. Look forward to seeing what the last couple of years bring. I have asked you guys if you want a 2000s one, and someone did say they would like to see that series. I don't know how soon after I would do it. I may do it. I might leave it till November maybe. I'll see how I feel once I get done with these, if I do want to continue on doing it and getting them done. Or if I might just not do it so much in September and bring it back in November. Because obviously October is Halloween, so I try and make Halloween all the Halloween themed videos. So, but no, someone said that they really wanted to see it, so I will do the series. I'm just not sure when I'll get to do it. But no, I hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. If you are, then do give this video a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell down below to be notified when I post. And also leave me your top 10 movies of 1995. Is yours similar to mine? Is yours completely different to mine? I would love to know. And again, apologies if I'm very all over the place. Like I said, I'm currently running on no sleep. Well, I'll say that. I've nodded off for about an hour. So, in 24 hours, I've had about an hour's sleep. So, I do apologise if my thoughts are all over the place, if I've got the numbers wrong. It happens. We all go through it. But yeah, no, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.